want to do a podcast? We make a darn good team. It always goes without a hitch. Let's head to Twitch and go start up the stream. Do you want to do a podcast? It's the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Let's start now. Hi everyone and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Come?
Alright, I'll do my own bit for myself.
Oh! Oh wait, no silence!
We're doing it! Get off the road! Hey Dave.
Hey, Boater.
A man went to the doctor for his annual checkup, and the doctor listens with the stethoscope, and everything sounds normal except that he hears voices coming from inside the gentleman. And he starts to kind of follow that around to find out where it's coming from. And at one point he puts the stethoscope on the man's thigh, and he hears, "Hey, do you have $20 I can borrow? Just like $20 to get me by? Like that'd be great." And it's like, well, that's weird. And the guy's like, "What are you doing?" He's, brings the stethoscope to the man's knee. "Hey, do you got like $10 I can borrow?" He hears coming from the guy's knee. Like just to get me to the end of the week. If you got $10, that'd be awesome. Like, "Doc, what are you doing? Hold on. This is..." Keeps bringing the stethoscope lower. Gets to the guy's shin. And here's just, "Look, if you just got $2, man, $2 is all I need." And he just kind of like, "Doc, you better explain yourself." "Well, it appears your leg is broken 3 places." Hey everyone, and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast. I'm Boater.
I'm Dave, man. That's an old form of joke telling that doth not happen these days anymore. What a week I've had in between Nerd Glasses episodes.
Yeah.
This one I do just want to mention at the top of the hour. This is the first Nerd Glasses post-pandemic that does not have Steve present as our producer. So if you ask us to Google things, we will just have phones out during the program and things like that to pull up extra hype and things. Mm-hmm. Happy Valentine's Day to those of you who observe and celebrate, and happy Nerd Glasses Tuesday for those of you who don't necessarily have much affinity for Valentine's Day.
Or if your idea of a romantic date is eating Oreos together while you watch us, awesome. I wish I could do that, actually. Maybe I'll watch the VOD tomorrow with Steph with a bunch of Oreos. Yeah. I don't know. I'll Google it across chat. It's what are you doing here? I mean, hi, Steve. You're with us in spirit.
Dan, by the way, got and tried one of those, the most Oreos.
Yeah.
Steve and I brought them out on the counter, and we were munching them, working, doing this and the other. And Dan comes over and he tries one, and I literally went, "Have one, then look at the serving size for these Oreos." So he had one, and then he looked, and he was like, "What the fuck? One? One?"
Absolutely wild. Next streaming Valentine's Day idea happens to fall on Nerd Glasses Day this year. Next year will be on Weekend Wednesday.
And I certainly haven't started drafts for a really funny, awkward speed dating sketch show. But that's to be expected in 364 days.
Let's start off, actually, since we're having so much fun messing around with the format of things. Dave, pretend you're on Jeopardy, and the only category left is dumb bands.
Boater, I'll take dumb bands for 1,000.
This company, which owns Twitch, had a subsidiary get banned on the platform for 16 minutes on February 11th, 2023.
What?
This company, which owns Twitch, had a subsidiary get banned on the platform for 16 minutes, February 11th, 2023. Chat can chime in as well.
Who is Amazon?
What is Amazon is what we're looking for, but we'll take it.
Actually, it's Amazon. To reference a different show.
There you go. Actually. Why didn't I write down the name of the subsidiary? I think it was Amazon Music Brazil. That, unknown exactly why, but probably while they were doing some policy updating regarding copyrights and so forth, that it caught an automatic ban because of music streaming, I assume. And then oopsie doodles, and they fixed that right quick. But nonetheless, part of Amazon banned another part of Amazon from its platform.
All right, so
Speed running a Twitch ban playing Hoonie Pop. Hoonie Pop isn't what I would speed run a Twitch ban with. Like, even if we're talking just in a game and not doing anything myself.
Omegle would be a speed run to see how fast you can get banned.
Arguable if that's a game.
I mean, you can make it a game.
I think Orc Massage might go faster.
That's true.
And really, there are a bunch of spicy games out there that are straight up video games that get to the TNA real quick.
To be totally honest, if you just clip showed every single Kojima game, if you just literally just the dialogue in between the games and things like that, there's a whole bunch of them that people would go, too much from Snake Ass.
Leisure Suit Larry, that blacklisted one.
Well, like Rigor Mortis, he did say Orc Massage.
And it was Amazon Music Brazil. Thank you, Taco Pill. Yeah, I know I mentioned Orc Massage a couple of months ago when like a lot of people were getting like weird bans and stuff, and Markiplier, it was on YouTube actually, people getting demonetized, and Markiplier just played Orc Massage just kind of like thumbing his nose at the YouTube censors. And then, so Boder, what are you playing? Orc Massage.
Listen, I learned it by watching somebody else do it, and now I'm going to do it all the time. Speaking of watching someone else do something, there are a couple of games coming out in the next 7 days. And what's going to be funny is Boder doesn't know what those buttons on the Steve deck are.
I have buttons. They are labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4.
They will, in fact, go in the order of 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Will they? Okay, good. That's a good start.
You know what? Actually, I didn't check that, but we're gonna go in 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm gonna randomly have it happen.
Hey, let's fire up the old Nerd Vision. Boop.
Coming out on the 15th, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S is a game that Boder actually is quite familiar with, and I am because I've sat in on some of them. It is, of course, City Skylines. Coming out on a remastered platform, redone as all those improvements have shown. If you haven't played City Skylines, highly recommend it. Not only because the remaster is a lot of fun, but also because I watched Boder play it and I had a good time, and so it can't be that bad.
You played it with me once.
Yes.
And then we dropped a whole bunch of meteors and tornadoes.
People did donate, and we destroyed the city.
Yes. And then we destroyed it more than we needed for the donations. Does the remastered include all the DLC? Just a few?
To my notes, it does include all the DLC.
That's a lot. There's like 20 DLC packs for it, not even counting like music packs and stuff like that.
I have a feeling some of the errata may not have been added, but it does seem like it's all that and a bag of potato chips.
Very cool. Highly recommended then. I'm interested to see how it plays on console. Honestly, I'm going to still be fine with my original copy of the game. Will they be releasing new DLC for only remastered? It looks like remastered is just PS5 and
Xbox Series X. They did not mention any changing plans based upon the fact they're releasing a remaster.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's going to be, hey, here's this version we worked really hard on, and now...
My guess is, unless it's a rebuild of the entire engine, which doesn't make sense from a labor perspective, especially with all the DLC in there, is that this is incremental upgrades, and they will probably just have a patch for the game, upgrading it from City Skylines to City Skylines Remastered. You see that kind of thing semi-often.
Yeah.
So
that's coming out on the 15th. Highly recommended by both Boder and myself. On the 16th, coming out for the Switch and the PlayStation 4. Boater, do you know if I say the words Theatrhythm Final Bar Line? Do you have any idea what IP that goes with?
The word final was English. The rest of that I have no idea.
It's very funny that you should pick up on the word final because it is not the trailer we are talking about.
Do you want me to change the trailer? Do you want to change?
No,
okay.
Will in fact just hard break change to...
So leave me on the cliffhanger of blah blah final blah.
Coming out on the 17th for the Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, it is an OG 2004 GameCube title, Tales of Symphonia.
Ooh.
If you see this at a garage sale and they want anything less than $20 for it, absolutely get it, and then bring it here and we will pay you a mint for it.
Yeah, like that sells in stores for at least 80, right?
Yes. Most GameCube games do at this point, unless it has the words Madden, FIFA, or MLB on it.
There's 3 tiers of GameCube games. There's the sports ones that are literally a dime a dozen. Still, in this economy, a dime a dozen. There's the first-party ones, which are commanding $60 plus. Your Zelda, whether they're first-party or at least the ones that are highly regarded, Tales, whatever. And then there's the rest, which are still around like $20. Like games that might have been cross-platform with also Xbox and PlayStation 2, but still have GameCube versions. You will find them going for like $10 higher on GameCube.
Yeah. Yes.
Anything to say about the Tales of Symphonia release other than just boom?
I did get to play this a little bit when it was in the store last, and it is fun. If you're a fan of RPGs, this is going to scratch a lot of itches, and it is an interesting story. It's a quest where, as it unfolds, you come to find immediately that it is not only the fate of your world, but the fate of another world in the balance of this quest line. And I don't want to get into the story of the quest other than the idea that you're dealing with more than one world, because otherwise it just gets spoiler heavy if you're not experiencing it from the start. But it's deep, it's fun, and it's got a lot to it. So you're buying a really thick game with hours and hours of gameplay, customizations, and choices going on. What up, Erica? Much love, my friend. So, that's Tales of Symphonia Remaster. Highly recommend it if you're a fan of RPGs, JRPGs,
What
and the
sort
like.
of improvements are coming in the remaster of that? Like, is it just, it's released on a new
So
console?
it is...
Which is kind of like the City Skyline says remaster, but it mostly feels like, hey, we touched it up a little bit and it's released on console.
This is going to be kind of what the City Skyline remaster is. It's, hey, we did some touches to make sure it's optimized to run on this console, but it is
widescreen support,
graphically...
it looks like, because it probably didn't have it on GameCube.
It is not on GameCube, but it did have it on the PlayStation 3 when it was released on that.
Okay.
So this game has gotten releases after Thane, but those ones are actually almost a little bit harder to find than the GameCube title, but they are cheaper.
I bet.
But again, I don't want to spoil anything about the plot because it is very good. It is a thick, just delicious story to play. Highly recommend it. And we shall journey on.
Delicious. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. What's the next button?
Number 3, obviously.
Number 3 is...
Well, on the 21st, you will be looking at a very, very interesting title for release. It is coming out on the PlayStation 4 and 5, Windows, the Xbox One, and the Xbox Series X. It is, of course, Like a Dragon Ishin.
Okay.
This
Sounds
game
familiar.
is a remake of the 2014 Japanese exclusive release, Ryuga Go to... Damn it, I practiced this so I could say it. Ryuga Gotoku. Yes, so I'm trying to like overpronounce Gotoku Ishin.
Okay.
This is the story of the late Edo period, the 1853 to 1867. Of course, when Western influence starts coming to Japan, you have this influx of black powder weapons, namely firearms that have been created and use casings and things like that of metal rather than your black powder that had been in Japan and China and Korea since a while. You follow a very interesting, captivating, interesting is a terrible word to use, and I'm going to stop saying that when I'm describing a game. A very eyebrow-raising title where your mentor is killed and you have to wander yourself around and both figure out who did it, but also change who you are fundamentally in a changing world to go undercover to find the killer of your mentor.
Okay.
The game allows for several different play styles, all sorts of different things. Erica knows the good stuff. But this is a Yakuza title, and it is the first time this plot is going to be available. There is very few tweaks to it, namely that this game is going to have some background characters that were storyline sort of inconsequential, changed to reference current day Like a Dragon characters or Yakuza other characters.
Okay.
They also added, there is a card game you play inside, and they did partner with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and so me, of course, getting really excited seeing Kenny Omega and a couple other people referenced in that card game, not as characters in the game like other past Yakuza titles have.
Yakuza, delightfully ridiculous and over the top. Yeah, and I really appreciate it when it leans into that, because not a lot of series do, and those that do that exclusively, whereas Yakuza, I think, does lean hard into it, but that's not all it does.
Yep. You can, if there's funny to be found, you can find it, and there is serious drama, and there is very good character development. You give a rip about the characters in this story as their life unfolds to them. This one, again, coming out for all current gen consoles and, of course, your PC. And I highly recommend it. But we're going to rewind into the past to the 16th for the Switch and the PlayStation 4. The trivia question of the day was, Theatrhythm Final Bar Line is a reference to a game that I am going to go absolutely apeshit for. It is 385 songs from across the world of...
Is that Final Fantasy?
It is Final Fantasy! 385 songs from all of the collected works of Final Fantasy. 100 characters from Final Fantasy lore, be it the games, the films, things like that. Not the Final Fantasy the movie, though. I checked. I really wanted it, and it's not going to happen.
So, hold on. There are multiple Final Fantasy movies. Do you mean Spirits Within?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was really disappointed to find out.
Because there is Advent Children, and there is Kingsglaive.
I'm really pissed, though, that we're not getting Steve Buscemi's character in this game. Because I wanted it. And I've been a really good boy this year. But it is a rhythm action game. You can have a single-player co-op where you're playing these rhythm titles and you're moving it across the screen or moving the joysticks, depending on what you're playing on. And it does have a two-player co-op where it splits or doubles the notes and music so that you're playing together.
Sorry, the side-scrolling notes are just reminding me of Trombone Champ.
It should. Oh, it
Good.
definitely. This game definitely has. Its pedigree is from the 3DS where it first released. Theatrhythm,
that makes sense.
And then they made a Final Curtain version, and now they have decided to do the Final Bar Line, which I really hope isn't the last Final Fantasy Theatrhythm. I also, Erica, just absolutely crushed on this game because I loved it so much.
90 songs from Square Enix titles available. Does that mean, because they didn't specify Final Fantasy, are there songs from other...
It was not in any of the reviews that I looked at or any of the information. So
because I'm remembering, like in Final Fantasy 15, when you're in the car and wandering around, that most of it would be Final Fantasy music, but there was occasionally like the title track from well, not title track, but like the main credit song
Yeah.
from Nier Automata, for instance. So
Nice. Ah,
added extra songs from Live Alive and other IPs. Nice.
hell yeah.
Giving me Elite Beat vibes. I mean, as soon as you say rhythm game on the DS, absolutely.
This game also does have a theater mode where you can just listen to the songs and enjoy them.
Oh, my heart.
Yes. I really am considering just getting this on the Switch because it feels more natural on that, as much as I really want to have a theatrical rhythm on a other console.
Uh-huh.
But I
What
feel
consoles is this out on?
like it is going to be coming out on the Switch and the PlayStation 4 only. I know. But don't fret ye not because of you and all your friends, because you have a lot of friends. You do, whether you tell yourself that or not is inconsequential of the truth that you do have friends. You've got 2 right here. So there's 4-player online battle where you battle to the beasts. And I really enjoy the idea that they just took the Guitar Hero head-to-head and just put it as a 4-player. If you biff the notes, you lose. Erica's also everyone's friend. Done. Taco Bill did say, Year's only 1.5 months old, and I still feel like I've been extra good this year.
It's like weird thing. It's also when I look at like cute rhythm games, whatever, I still think of Drummer. The one for like PS2 that had like the little bongos, whatever, and that is still a going concern in Japan.
It's the
Taiko Drum Master.
Yes!
I love that game.
Harmonites?
The actual the controller, because I got the PS2 controller for it, and first off, our PS2 barely works anymore, but like it wasn't as accurate as just playing with the controller, but damn it wasn't fun.
So,
I want rhythm games with obscure controllers, dang it. I've never played the Donkey Kong Bongo one, but give me that too.
Oh, Donkey Kong is actually pretty fun. Although I will say, unless Vladdy's playing it, it just kind of get... but does it work with the DK bongos? So it chimes in Taco Pill. That is the next... The game. All the games that are coming out in the next 7 days. Except that I forgot to grab a trailer for the most audacious game. One of the most ambitious ones. And one of the ones that is either going to be a success or a resounding failure, and has actually genuinely caused me some pain because I have to choose between this month getting Theatrhythm or getting Wild Hearts. It's the EA Koei Tecmo, and as I say those words, I know which game I have to buy, release that is quite literally EA and Koei Tecmo going, how hard can a Monster Hunter game be? I mean, really? And I The one thing that both myself and Itachi Blaine were talking about yesterday is that Boater is
Monster Hunter cross-compatible to all the systems that it's available on? Can you play?
I'm gonna guess no.
It's not. But guess what? There's an EA title called Wild Hearts that's coming out that from day of release is going to be cross-platform, PlayStation, Xbox, and computer. And I think
it's the first time a lot of us have something positive to say about EA.
Do you remember late aughts when like God of War was huge and like people were trying to make like games like that? Darksiders and Dante's Inferno came out like the same year.
Yep.
And I forget if both of them were multi-platform. I feel like one of them might not have been, but it was
Dante's Inferno didn't have multiplayer, so
I think it was definitely like, oh well, if you're not on PlayStation, finally you can play a game like that. Then it turned out that both of those games weren't as good as God of War, of course. So I kind of want to do Dante's Inferno just cause, but
you should. It's a lot of fun, and it upsets the people who deserve to be upset.
Before we get to what we've been playing, make sure that you check out the prediction, where you can determine what snack we're going to try. There's Cherry Jubilee Mint Thins, the Mystery Box, and Heart Throbs. The Mystery Box is currently winning with 100% of the vote, but that is just 530 channel points. If you decide to toss some weight around, you can easily influence that. God of War, you can have my portion, no thank you. I never played the original God of War trilogy, but I very much enjoyed God of War on the PS4. And I need to finish that so I can go and play Ragnarok, because I really like the
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of story.
Finish God of War, because there's an end to that game.
I'm
And
not. Yes, Dave, you're still stuck at the doors in the World Tree.
It doesn't help that I threw the axe, the doors closed, we stopped the stream, so plausible deniability, he doesn't have that axe.
Dante's Inferno would be a good companion to our Hellscape D&D campaign. I could see that. Co-EA Tecmo. All right, Dave, what media have you been consuming?
So I really had a great time this past week. Lots of folks at the store have been either ill or on vacation, doing things, taking time off for holidays and significant others and things like that. So this Friday, I actually worked a shift in the store and was not able to stream.
Okay.
And so because I was here in the store, I actually got to run into one of our friends on the network who streams every Friday, a podcast of similar nature to Nerd Glasses, Lily's News, every Friday here on Insane Games TV. And I actually went to college with Lily.
Okay.
Lily has been a director of productions I've been in. She has been very involved with local theater communities far and wide, things like that. And I had a lot of fun working and listening to this stream, as well as just chatting and catching up with Lily before the stream started. So, firstly, Fridays at 5, you're not doing anything, and you know it.
Possibly true.
Open a tab, check it out. Last week, Lily has been doing a really awesome job talking about the events of The Last of Us as each episode has gone out.
Okay.
And her perspective on things has been really interesting, and her breakdowns have been a lot of fun. She also talked about that person who trained squirrels to attack people, and talked about that, and how many squirrels is too much. And it's interesting stuff. But that aside, I've been really embattled with the Madden League that I'm in, the MLB League that I'm in. Successes have been gotten. Asses have been beaten, namely mine. And I've also been really enjoying the third competitive season of Overwatch 2, which came out, and the Battle Pass finally does have currency free to get. However, I do have to make an addendum to some reporting that we did, which is that when the Battle Pass came out, we had reported that it was going to be premium currency.
Okay.
As it turns out, it is not the premium purchasable currency. It is the old Overwatch currency that just got transferred into the in-game credits.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, they did make almost every single skin released from the original Overwatch available for purchase with that currency that they now shower upon you. But I already have over 60,000 of it. That's not my problem. I don't need that. So, premium skins are back off the table because I am not paying money for currency to buy items, even though
still dead to Dave.
they don't affect the gameplay.
So it is written.
It is, Erica. Actually, I will read the sequence.
I would shake my fist at Blizzard here, but frankly, it's my fault for expecting more. Exactly. Why set yourself up to be disappointed in someone? If you have no expectations for them, you can never be disappointed. That's not true. That is, in fact, false. Sometimes I have no expectations for something and it still disappoints. Because I expect mediocrity in general, and then stuff takes a really hard turn anyway.
Okay, so Thursday at 10:13 p.m., I texted Steve, those frauds! The Battle Pass currency isn't the premium currency. It's the older credits. What a bunch of assholes. Because that's BS on Activision's part. Like, wouldn't it kill them to actually be nice to their player base? And I sent, and then this Wikipedia article.
The Bobby Kotick.
The Bobby Kotick Wikipedia article. And I just said, I rest my case. And he goes, true. And then we went into, we don't wish death upon anybody. And then I shared a gif of an ex-president. And I said, but I may not have had my hopes up for little by little.
The bar was low, and yet I see you doing a limbo in hell. Thank you, more like rigor mortis.
I am happy just to say that they decided to do something that's very much up the alley of many of the people of who watch this program, which is that Overwatch this season decided to make a dating sim. A non-canon dating sim, but an Overwatch dating sim where you can either pitch woo at Mercy, which all of us playing comp absolutely try to, with calls of, I need healing, and thank you! Or you can pitch woo at Genji, who is quite literally the opposite of the Mercy player, running into battle and dying, and you can tell who I'm leaning towards.
Don't wish death, wish excruciating pain. I wish that I had an easy transcript of To the Pain from Princess Bride, because I don't remember it off the top of my head, but that's a magnificent monologue. No, not to the death, to the pain.
Chat and host poll. Which game that is not a dating sim would you like to make a non-canon dating sim of?
I want to make...
absolutely going to pause everything we're talking about to talk about this because it matters.
Okay, so Doki Doki Literature Club poses as a dating sim, but it's not actually.
It is not actually at all, and please
I
don't
want
play
there
that
to
game.
be a dating sim, like what it pretended to be at the outset before everything happened. I want to play that game too. Like, I'm glad that I played it as it was. It was a magnificent game, but like, wow.
It's magnificent. Please be careful while playing it.
Yes, there are content warnings and such for a very good reason. Simpsons Hit and Run dating sim. Oddworld,
Yes!
Abe's Odyssey.
Yes! Oddworld, poor Abe. I would say...
The GameStop buyer has the deluxe version on clearance. Wow.
Of Oddworld's Abe's Odyssey?
I assume.
But for me, a dating sim that is not a dating sim. What's up, laddie? Doki Doki Literature Club.
Ooh.
You may get beaten out by Boater, who's going to leave here after it closes.
How much is clearance? Because I have cashola in my pocket, and they'll probably be closed by the time I leave here, but I can give it to this guy and be like, hey, grab it.
Tomorrow is not a good day for me to stop anywhere because I work from 8:30 straight till well after 8 p.m.
Right.
$16. Oh, Suikoden too. Yeah.
Nice.
Dating sim where you choose between Sonic OCs, says Vladdy.
Sonic OCs, not even like the actual character. Oh, heavens!
You know what? It's gonna.
There's already websites for that. Not to yuck in anyone's yum.
You know what I'm gonna pick as my dating sim game. That's not a dating sim.
What's that?
Dynasty Warriors. Think of all the options you have to pick between prospective mates. Think of it! And...
I cannot wait to see that stream.
Oh no! My relationship with Zhang Fei has gone to shit! Well, Huan Zhang, it's time to start DMing you. What up, Akai?
Okay, let's... consuming.
Yes. So, yesterday we had what was going to be probably one of our last for a little while playthroughs of Valheim with Love Alec. It's because we've beaten now every single big boss. Our city's pretty well built up. There's not many hills to climb until more expansions come out.
Content, yep.
We've been very fortunate that we haven't had to search very hard for where to find the things. That's kind of why this is kind of collapsed upon itself. But Valheim has been good. Overwatch is getting very good, and people are enjoying it. Now, when you get a certain number of streaks and the characters say, I'm on fire, the little icon lights on fire again. Whereas when Overwatch 2 came out for the first little while, didn't happen. Very infuriating. Still mad about it. But I think other than I miss Mike.
Yep.
I will say, unfortunately, there is not going to be a Retro Wednesday tomorrow. Oh my God, I almost forgot about the thing that I streamed this past week. So please keep an eye on that, and much love and power to you, Mike. One last big topic, but I was very fortunate this past week where I kind of took a role because I was originally going to start New Game Plus of Dead Space, and instead we played Rocksmith, and I played bass guitar for the first time since June.
Okay.
For 3 hours. And Steve joined in and he played on guitar, and unfortunately within the first 10 minutes of the stream he broke his E string.
Oh.
So then he had to pick a second instrument that he wasn't so much a fan of. But I had such a blast doing that, and I really do want to aim to incorporate more music into my streaming going forward. Which is why tomorrow we're going to be doing ukulele requests again, but we are going to be playing marbles on stream as we're doing that to kind of balance out the if chat's kind of quiet and or if people are actually watching things. But that's what I've been gaming and jamming on recently. Buddha, what about you?
Not a whole lot new. I finished A Closed and Common Orbit by Becky Chambers and moved on to Record of a Spaceborne Few. Again, this is the Wayfarers series. These are books that I've read before, but it's been long enough that I remember like a couple scenes from them, so it's cool like going through and reading them again. Bad Batch continues to be really good. I don't have much to say about the latest episode, except it was really cool when the Emperor appears in the Senate, and you can just feel the fear in the entire chamber. And I'm still playing Far Cry 6. I finished the second of the 3 major province quest lines. And I'm also still playing the mobile game Train Station 2, which reminds me that I have trains that need to go out on hourly runs about now.
Toots and choo-choos that he must manage.
As there's competitions going on, and at the moment I'm in the lead of the 20 people that I've been grouped with, and I just want to really quick stay on top of sending stuff out. So
Erica, yes please.
So not a whole lot new on my end for stuff.
But you know what did happen in the last 7 days?
What's that, Dave?
We had a Nintendo respectfully decided to do a Nintendo Direct after Nerd Glasses, so we could have the week to really think about and process the news that they gave us. And
that's an interesting way to look at it. I remember feeling very slighted that they didn't give us the chance to report on it ourselves.
They also gave a little nod because they didn't have it exactly at 9 p.m. on Wednesday night, not competing with the Weekend Wednesday because, damn it all, people still like to tune in for old Fat Dave, and they like to watch my Pogam, and they knew that. I'm not reading that comment.
That's fine. If you're watching this, the VOD on YouTube, hello and welcome. But if you're not here live, you are missing some stuff in chat.
But we did. We can throw to past Steve
because
for
Steve's
some coverage.
Steve's not here in the studio tonight, but he was here in the past. So reporting to us live from the past and absolutely not pre-recorded at all is Steve.
Yeah, you know what? I can't let him talk about this without me. I am going to break the fourth wall, and I'm going to the past. Roll the footage. I'm going in.
What do you mean footage? Anyway, hi, Steve.
Thank you, Boder and Dave. Nintendo Direct happened on the 8th. It was a great Direct. What? Dave, what are you doing here?
You're going to mess it up, Steve. You're not going to talk about the most important thing that happened. My Advance Wars game, Steve. Jesus. It got a release date, and it's going to be great. I'm so excited about it, I traveled back to the past. Yeah!
Anyway, Direct happened today, 2/8/23. A lot of stuff happened, a lot to go over. Well, you gotta be quick, because time is money, and I have no money. Pikmin 4 is gonna release in July. I forgot what date it was. It's gonna have a fucking dog, and it's fucking adorable.
And Ice Pikmins.
Ice Pikmins too, but
so
the
you
dog.
Won't drown anymore.
Dog is fucking adorable. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is getting DLC 3 and 4. No one cares. Somebody Amigo comes out in the summer. Fashion Dreamer comes out 2023. Then a bunch of them I stopped paying attention for a quick sec. Except Dead Cells Castlevania The DLC for that is coming out, and it looks good. It was announced in a previous either direct or presentation, but it looks really good. Excited. I picked up the game from here. It's great. Tron Identity, a weird game. I didn't even see the title of that one. Deca Police. It looks very much similar to Astral Chain, but different companies. Cereza Lost Demon, a Bayonetta story, comes out March 17th. Splatoon 3, getting an expansion pass. Inkopolis comes out in the spring. Will be added to the expansion pass thing that they do. Harmony, or no, Fire Emblem. No, wait, I skipped a couple. I don't care about those two, but I'm gonna say them anyway. Fire Emblem Engage is getting DLC. Wave 2 comes out today. Disney Illusion Islands comes out July 28th. Harmony comes out June. Octopath 2, Wheel of Katamari, Sodom, Sabotage, Omega Strikers. I stopped paying attention at that point. Etrian Odyssey, Origins, June 1st. 1, 2, and 3 comes out. Advanced Wars, woo! Finally gets a release date of April 21st. A lot of these pre-orders go live today, so get on that today if you would like those games today. You won't get them today, but I just like saying today. Kirby is getting DLC for a remake of a remake. And a demo comes out today, which that's pretty fun. I'm going to skip the two big ones. I circle them, though. Metroid Prime is getting a remastering. Comes out today. So I can say today again. And physically, or digitally today, physically on the 22nd. Ramcode. It's a thing. Baton Cad... what was that? Baton Kados? It teased me with Kid Icarus. Fuck it. Fantasy Life 2 comes out 2023. Professor Layton's getting another game. Wave 4 of the Mario Kart DLC is coming out. It's been announced today. Comes out in the spring. Is adding a Yoshi's Island track as well as Birdo and all colors of Birdo. So there's still hope for the Vampire Waluigi and Bus Driver Waluigi. Zelda pre-orders start today. Got a new trailer. It looks really fresh. Finally, the big one. Game Boy games are coming to Nintendo Switch Online today. For the original Game Boy games will be added to the regular. Game Boy Advance games will be added to the expansion pass. So if you have the expansion pass, you can play the Game Boy Advance games today.
Steve, they are a lot of fun to play, by the way.
They are. I'm gonna... oh shit, I do have my Switch here. I'm gonna probably download that today. Today.
I've been playing them all weekend.
Good. I'm glad you have. The Mario Kart Super Circuit, which is
I was going to say, no, Steve, Double Dash did not come on the Game Boy.
very sad. My poor heart. Minish Cap, Link's Awakening, Deluxe. Super Mario Land 1 didn't come out, or wasn't announced. The second one was.
Yes.
The second one's a better game. And then we're getting more Pokemon, TCG.
More
Oracle
titles
games
to be announced.
Yes, Oracle games, F-Zero, and a bunch more. I have a sneaking suspicion that on Pokemon Day, February 29th, February 27th, this year, we're going to get a confirmation that Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, Fire Red, Leaf Green, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald will be coming to the Switch. You heard it here first, folks. Anyway, I should probably go back. I'm just going to push you back through the portal.
That is a very hot take.
That is a very hot take. I'm going to push you back through the portal so you can say hi to Bo.
But I don't want.
Say hi to
I
Boner
want
for
to
me.
play
I
the
won't be there
games
anyway.
again.
Bye.
So that was a lot of talking to let me know that I missed the whole thing about there being a new Professor Layton game for the first time in 6 years. Dave, you look disheveled.
Time travel is very strenuous.
That's why we don't put organic whatever stuff through it. Just signals and communication. Did you lose your lanyard?
I didn't, but I am losing a piece of my lanyard because I realized this was given to me by a friend, but it has a certain IP on it, and turfs don't get no nerd glasses bumps, people.
And if you are feeling the itch to play something witchy and magicy, but you don't want to
Play Skyrim, goddamn you! Just play Skyrim.
But you don't want to give money to a turfy creator or to engage with a game made by a raging anti-Semite and it's showing in the game, then you have options. There are plenty out there, but a lot of people brought one together from onto itch.io. I never know how to pronounce the website's name, but it is the Trans Witches Are Witches bundle, which has... Dave, can you say this number of games?
All right, 69.
Worth over $300 that could be all yours for $60 for the entire bundle. They are going to try to raise $192,000 in the span of about 2 weeks, I think. There's still 10 days left to get everything at this price, and right now they've so far raised $120,000. I got a Twitch payout earlier today in the amount of $56.81. So I absolutely was like, well, that money goes here now. So I picked it up. There's a couple things I'm already looking forward to playing.
I am looking for a flagpole for this, but I figure you and I can definitely hold this up.
Yes, absolutely.
Because
I don't know that I've seen this particular design.
when we represent it, when we show it, we mean it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that turf.
Yep. Trans rights are humans' rights. Yeah. Voters should have watched the direct. I watched some. I saw a couple of like sum-ups of it, but clearly they were by uncultured people because nobody told me until past Steve did that there's new Professor Layton material. And I loved playing through the 2017 release on the Switch, Catriel Millionaire Mystery, whatever, with Steph, and I cannot wait for more. But yes, sorry, on this one, yeah, I got myself that bundle, and I am going to post a link to it just as soon as I Google it and post. Actually, if you're still here, I don't know if he is, so I'm gonna do that real quick. But yeah, I don't know if you have anything to add about either the bundle or about the response to Hogwarts Legacy.
Just that I certainly have been unfollowing a lot of people on Twitch because I'm not interested in performance activism. When it matters, it's got to matter more than when it's trending on social media, people. It has to. That's why we stopped playing Activision Blizzard games for a full year and then had a month of meeting with the community to see if playing Call of Duty, Overwatch, Diablo, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and all those other Activision Blizzard intellectual properties were okay to return to people. Are people feeling fine about the change in leadership and things like that? Talk to your friends, talk to your community, but just remember, you don't owe it to anybody. It's the shopping cart principle. You don't owe it to anybody to be a decent person, but just know that people see you and people are aware and people remember when you do these certain things, when it's okay because excuses.
Yeah, and so like, you know, the game has a trans person in it. Well, the trans person has a very male, you know, the woman has a very male name, and it's just a horrible show of representation, and developers have made it clear that she was put in there to shut criticism up and to like divert the conversation. And it's not just trans. Again, we've talked about other ways that it's bigoted. Like, it is a very anti-Semitic game because the head developer was a like hard alt-right whatever, and he was booted from development of the game late in the cycle, so a lot of his stuff is still in. Like, we're not gonna go a ton into detail here, but
it's
like,
just a game that when it's supposed to developers.
there's like, I forget if we've talked about this exact angle on here before, but the idea of no ethical consumption under consumerism is actually meant to be like, well, corporations own all the food. You can't avoid Nestle, which is unethical because Nestle owns half the stuff that you can buy as far as food off the shelves of your grocery store. That is no ethical consumption under consumerism. Not giving you excuse to play the Wizard game when you can just not do that.
Also,
And I know I know we're preaching to the choir here. We're not talking to you. This is someone's venting frustration. This is...
And I know I've heard some folks say, but I want to support the developers and the people who worked on the game. Their checks have already been deposited.
Yeah.
They've already been paid,
And
they
their bonuses,
certainly,
their
sure as
bonuses,
shit, are not getting paid on copies sold.
their,
But you know
their
who
bonuses,
is?
yeah, it goes to the
Turfity turf.
Turfity Witch, and like developer bonuses are based on reviews and ratings, not on sales. So if you must play the Turf Wizard game, look for it on the high seas. But I mean,
but do you really want to leave that door open?
yeah, I mean, like, so, well, that is an ethical way to consume the media, but I also feel like this is not media that, personally, I feel cannot be ethically consumed. I would rather not engage with the IP at all, but that is an extreme position, I admit that.
I mean, it's a really easy position. There's so many good games out there that have magic, spells.
There's much better urban fantasy that has like magic and such in present day. Just Harry Potter is the one that got the Scholastic Book Fair bucks to get into kids' hands.
Did you know?
I miss book fairs.
Did you know
Continue.
that From Software's most recent game has over triple the amount of magic spells than a current Wizard game does?
I'm going to say that Elden Ring and Hogwarts Legacy are not really pitching to the same audience. To be fair.
But are they? They're not. But there's many good games out there, and if you come to Insane Games, we'll gladly direct you in the direction of literally so many good games. We have them, and you can buy them.
Hey, Dave.
Yes.
What the fuck are heartthrobs? Because that's what won the poll.
Ah! Well.
Dave was so confused, and he's the one that bought them.
I was like, huh? I was like, what is chat talking about? What hath Taco Pill and Erica and more like rigor mortis? This sounds like a they thing.
Just reread your books or rewatch the films instead because it's free. Read the Bartimaeus trilogy. It's I enjoy it much more than the Harry Potter series when it comes to that general target audience of books. And I think that there's plans for film underway, but I'm not positive.
So these I picked up.
That's what I call Dave when no one else is looking. That's what I call Dave when everyone's looking. This heartthrob right here.
Yes, border. Welcome to the last episode of the Nerd Classes. I was gonna be like, get the fuck out. These were Welch's, of course, the best company for snackery use. Juiceful's Heartthrobs, strawberry and cherry. I'm actually pretty glad of how good we're getting at, and by we I mean of you staying still and me placing a product.
Yes, but
frame.
also the focus square is on my face right now, so if you wanted to focus on that, then
that's
just
okay.
tap the... Okay.
It's okay. Juicefuls have gotten enough bump here on the Nerd Glasses.
The problem with Kingkiller Chronicles is that there hasn't been a new book in 12 years. Okay. Yeah, just about 12. Listen, the second book in that series, I got married 10 years ago this year, and my honeymoon was on a cruise, and I ran out of books to read. I brought books, and I ran out, and so I went to like the little convenience shop on the boat, and I got the second book in the series, not knowing it was the second book until I was about halfway through. There hasn't been a book since then. Was this a smell thing that your reaction was?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. They don't look like what's on the packaging. I'm very
No,
worried.
they don't. The packaging looks like it's a white candy with a red filling. This is clear-ish with red chunks. It's got chunks, chat.
I kid you not. This whole bag is just red chunks. Nope. Yeah, nope. That's just red chunks, but there's more of them. Hashtag chunks.
I should have saved some of the Dr. Pepper to wash this down. Dink. Wow, that is a gummy texture and no flavor. Hold on, that's the chunks.
Do you want to know? Oh, you don't like the taste of it?
No, the texture got really weird.
They're gushers.
Yeah.
They're gushers. If you were raised on gushers, you're not gushers.
Yeah, I really wasn't. Like, I've had gushers a few times before. But the fact that the outside is translucent like that is very off-putting.
Do you want to know why I made that face, by the way? Now that you have consumed one, take a sniff
That is strong.
as to what that bag smells like. It's, I won't lie, I bought this before the last major holiday, and it's been sitting in that drawer. I am going to pick up that one that I dropped so that Ash doesn't find it.
The red chunks are part of the anatomically correct shaped heart.
That's true, they are. These are closer to anatomically correct heart shapes.
Look at the biblically accurate ones. There's all the eyes.
I just love that idea of the angel be not afraid. Ah!
No, be not afraid. Hey. Please be afraid.
Please be afraid.
Be a little afraid.
Hey, Twitch just sent me a payout too.
Cool, it's payout day.
And now I get to cry on the car ride home.
Now you get to use that to get yourself a copy of
I can get both games
bundle.
now! Ha ha! Huzzah! Twitch pays for itself sometimes, kinda. Tax season's coming up. I'm really screwed.
No, don't worry about it. This payout is for next year's tax.
Good.
But yeah, like, okay, I'm sorry. Aside, last year when I did the self thing with H&R Block, doing the Twitch 1099 whatever was an absolute pain in the ass. They don't make it easy to include that form.
Nope.
Because they want it to be difficult so that you pay some advisor like $300.
You looking for some news over there? Perhaps some stories in chat in there? Yes.
Dave, worried about the time that the show would end. Do you have any news stories that you really need to get off your chest before we
Yes,
call it?
I do, buddy!
That's what I figured.
So, I've got some good news, I've got some best news, and I've got some bad news. What are you in for? What do you want on your plate?
Good, best, and bad are my options?
Yes.
Hit me with the bad news.
All
That's
right.
all bad news.
If the Activision Blizzard King deal with Microsoft falls through, we will see a continued reign of Bobo the Bimbo in charge of Activision Blizzard
That
indefinitely.
was more or less assumed.
That's the bad news.
Okay.
and
Give me the best news.
The best news possible. Well, Boner, my Twitter was aflame, and by that I mean my Twitter mentioned one tweet about it, and I screamed really loud.
My
that-
Twitter's on fire because of how the platform is. Does that count?
I mean, my Twitter got me in trouble because people didn't like that I said I'm unfollowing people on Twitter for Twitch for playing the Wizard game. People were like, "That's not fair," and I said, "Fuck you." But our good friends at Remedy confirmed that Alan Wake 2's development, the game is now playable from start to finish.
Ooh.
There is polish needed, but
Yep.
by all pulses checked, this game will still be coming out on its estimated 2023 release window.
Nice.
As long as everything continues to go for plan for Remedy, and I am just so much all for it that I have to remind you that the Alan Wake remaster, if you haven't played the Alan Wake series and you are a fan of literature and literature games that reference writers and have a writer starring in the game, and most of the game is you collecting pages of a novel that he wrote that he doesn't remember, it's a Stephen King novel. It's a Stephen King novel.
And a novelist that likes the state of Maine.
Yes. Play, if you've ever thought Stephen King needs a game, Alan Wake.
He's at it for every year. Yeah. And before you get to the good news, Dave, I'm going to say really quick some AI art news because this one's really going to go for the bowl of petunias this year. Bungie accidentally featured AI-generated art on its weekly community art showcase.
Oh my god! How hard is it just to vet that?
When they were called out on it, they responded that they didn't know, they weren't looking that close. But now that it has been brought to their attention, they're like, took that one back down. And we will not knowingly ever feature AI art submissions as a potential Art of the Week or Movie of the Week winner. That being said, this is still new. We asked for grace if we mistakenly feature a submission generated by AI, and a respectful heads up should it ever happen again in the future. Appreciate the assist. Bungie's been doing a really good job, social media-wise, of, like, speaking up when it's a good time to do so, of owning mistakes that they've made. Like, I am pro Bungie's PR.
They took ownership of a mistake that they made, and they asked for a plan going forward, both on their own and of the fans of them.
They said their plan, and they asked the community to be actively involved in the plan. Let us know if we mess up. They do want to know. I don't know if this is a relevant fun fact, but I recently learned that Stephen Sondheim was legitimately very interested in making an Into the Woods video game. I actually don't really know Into the Woods that well, so.
The music soundtrack alone would make that game worth it. Be still my heart.
And bring us the good news, Dave. And then
we'll
end this out.
This is tricky good news, Boner. Because Dead Island 2, that game that was in development hell for years.
Uh-huh.
And then it existed and it didn't exist. They have a release date change again.
Dave, did you ever play Dead Island?
I did.
I never did. I loved the release trailer for it, the announcement trailer for Dead Island, and then I never engaged with the IP again. Oops.
Did you see the Dead Island 2 original release where it was the song I'm the explosive and I'm about to blow up, dun 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 dun, and it's the guy running, and as he's running you slowly realize he's been bitten and he's slowly decaying and like falling apart. It's very funny. The trailer also features Jack Black. As a heads up,
okay.
I would definitely check that out. But unfortunately the release date has been changed to a week earlier, baby. It's coming out on April 21st as opposed to the original May release date, because the game has officially in the developers gone gold, meaning that it is ready for send out. And
they have a week earlier.
Yes.
A week later than the 21st would be April 28th.
It's coming out a week early, baby. It is going to be available on April 21st. And I am very excited about that game coming out finally. It finally existing and not just being a trailer that everyone lists games we wanted and never got coming.
Yeah.
Top 10 games we never got.
Here's the thing, is that games will either end up just fading into being vaporware or they'll come out and be awful. What are your expectations on this? Like, how do you think Dead Island 2 is actually going to be? Because Duke Nukem Forever was the industry punching bag for over a decade. And then it came out and it was garbage and everybody forgot about the title. Although before then, because it had always been delayed and then it went to Gearbox, I think. And at one point, they had a video come out where he's like, we're not changing the date. It's all ready to come out. And behind him, there's like an intern changing the date on the poster behind him. And he's like, come the fuck on!
This is a story you guys have heard on stream, but you've unlocked the Dave story. I had a pre-order of Duke Nukem Forever when it first was announced.
Right.
I bought that the same time I purchased a copy of StarCraft Ghost. Imagine
honey.
young Dave's disappointment when both of those games didn't come out. But because I kept my pre-order slip, the Babbages that became a GameStop in the Danbury Mall gave me a copy of Duke Nukem Forever for free. Because they're like, listen, man, by this point it is appreciated to over the cost of a free game. It bankrupted between 2 and 3 video game development companies. And finally, I think it was Gearbox that literally went to the safe, looked at it and went, holy shit, this is done. Like, they just couldn't get the finalizing. So, yes.
Oh, wow.
I'm very excited about all that and so much more. Don't worry, folks. Next week, by the way, we'll be back to being able to do conspiracy baseball things because we used one whole 85 square foot roll of tinfoil, but I have purchased, because I'm a responsible adult with my own money, another 85 feet of tinfoil for tinfoil hats. I also heard there might be some Kojima news soon, so...
Oh boy. And of course, make sure that you stay tuned after Nerd Glasses podcast, where Steve will be finishing CarQuest on the Shack.
I miss Steve.
Me too. I don't think he's in chat anymore. That would have been funny.
Doesn't matter. He knows. He knows.
Somebody exclamation point Steve that for him. All right. That has been it for the Nerd Glasses podcast, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you hanging out with us as we shot the shit for an hour and then speed ran the news for 5 minutes.
On days like today especially, it's especially pertinent to remember that we see you, we care about you. If no one else tells you today, just know, from the two of us, that we love you.
Whether you're here and active or you're seeing this as a VOD on YouTube years from now, you are important. You matter. You are loved, to steal your words. It's we love everybody that's here, that's hanging out right now, and people watching down the line. And there's so many more people around you that love you too. So, thank you for being here. It really means a lot to us that we get to do this each and every week, which means, of course, that we will be here next week, 7:45 Eastern, for the Nerd Glasses podcast. I made the joke about Steve, but if you're hanging around for the Shack, he's not going to be here this week, but that's okay, because next week he'll be on after the Nerd Glasses podcast, finishing CarQuest on the Shack. But until then, I've been Boater.
I've been Dave, man.
And we'll see you next week. Thank you so much. From all of us here at Insane Games TV, we'll see you later. Bye!